Hello, my name is Portia Huang. I'm the head of marketing for iptiQ Asia Pacific. Welcome to our podcast series, Insurance Pulse, a platform where we'll discuss, analyze, and share the latest trends in insurance across Asia Pacific. Born digital to heritage parents, iptiQ by Swiss Re is a global B2B2C insurer focused on brand distributors. A unique player in the insurance industry, iptiQ combines the risk expertise and the superior capital of traditional insurance providers with the digital-first makeup of startups to deliver fair-value products. In our last episode, we discussed the missing piece in digitalizing insurance, digital trust. Today, Rob Burr, Global CEO of iptiQ, speaks with Chris Ong, Chief Actuary and Head of Product Science at iptiQ Asia Pacific, to delve deeper into digital trust and share their views on how this can be achieved.
Hi, I'm Rob, and thank you for joining us today. Insurance is an extraordinary business. We want customers to pay us for a product they can't try before they buy. We ask them to pay for a promise that hopefully they will never have to call in. And on top of all that, they're buying from a website or an app with little interaction with a person. It's an incredible premise and yet occurs so frequently. Why is that? The answer is digital trust. And today we have Chris Ong joining us to share his thoughts on how we achieve that goal of digital trust. Chris, thanks for joining me today. And I wanted to start a little bit by going back in time when banking was a very, very different industry to the one we have today. And they went through a process of migrating their customers from one kind of interaction, which was very driven by face-to-face and cross-counter communications, through the curve of ATMs into what we now see today, which is this amazing digital technology that they use on apps to allow us to conduct our financial services. And this adoption curve is quite important to us because we look at how these digital payments are made, whether you're with PayPal or Alipay or your own local bank. It seems that going to a bank now is a bit of a hassle. And it's like, oh, God, I've got to get up off my desk and I've got to walk down the road and find a bank that's actually open. And it all seems like incredibly hard work. Today, the insurance industry has maybe not quite got there in that journey. It has a strong reputation for providing sound products, but not necessarily a high level of trust in that transition from face-to-face communications and interactions to the digital world. And as the industry moves on, how can we convince people to trust online insurance, to believe that they can have the same customer experience from that process? I believe that digital trust will play an important role in that. And in insurance, digital trust is very much a two-sided coin. On one side, we need the insurance products and services to be delivered with integrity and with the customer at the heart of what we do. On the other side, we need digital platforms and tools with ethical design, data governance and compliance that people can trust.
That's interesting. As you've said, trust and digital trust is so important when it comes to insurance products. If you think about what is insurance, we really are selling a promise. And that's why trust is so important. Customers need to believe that you'll be there when they need you and that we do want to pay claims. Otherwise, customers won't value your promise and the products that you're trying to sell. Therefore, we really focus on designing products that will pay claims. This is how we deliver on that promise and continue to build digital trust with customers. And we really need to focus on the whole end-to-end process to achieve this. So, we think about how do we design our products, making sure that the product meets the needs of customers and provides good value, but also, thinking about terms and conditions. Do these align with what a customer would reasonably expect from the product to be covering? And what exclusions do we have? If we think about sales, how do we make sure that customers are well informed with what they're purchasing? How simple is the product to understand? For example, we always communicate what the policy covers, but it's probably even more important to let the customers know what isn't covered. From our research, customers actually appreciate that transparency, and this actually builds trust with customers from the start. If you look at claims, how do we make sure that our claims philosophies are aligned to the intentions of the product, not just purely on the terms and conditions? It's really, really important that we communicate to customers even after the sales process, educate them of their policy coverage. We want to make sure that customers find value in their policies, not just when they purchase it, but also after that. Lastly, one of my responsibilities is really to continuously monitor the portfolio to make sure that the products we've designed are providing that fair value that we intended them to provide.
I couldn't agree more, Chris. We always start and end with customers. They're the centre of everything that we do, and it's critical we build that culture where they feel comfortable. We need to completely understand what the customer needs so that we can build that trust and that they will feel that they are hearing their own words in the products and propositions that we make. Swiss Re's recent consumer survey gives us some insights on the increased awareness and importance that people are placing on health and wellness following the COVID-19 pandemic. The same research shows that more people are changing their lifestyle habits in an effort to improve their health. You only have to look at the number of people who continue to wear masks when restrictions are dropped in other markets. You also just look at the medical statistics, which say that COVID infection rates are really in many ways replacing flu as we move forward. And not stopping there, respondents also state that more financial protection has become a priority, with over 50% saying that medical insurance is the first thing that they will look for when seeking additional coverage. People's perception of the role that illness and viruses play in their life has completely changed. I remember when COVID first started, the idea of you walking around with a hand sanitizer attached to your bag would never have happened. And now it's almost like, well, why don't you have one? And the insurance world, we've stopped treating people as people, and it's become very much a transactional process. But that transactional process needs to resonate with the individual and the consumer. Insurance is not emotional. It's not something that people wake up in the morning and think about, but it is moving more and more into the top of their mind. So it's important that we operate with empathy and take individual needs and circumstances into account.
I completely agree. The how is actually just as important as the what. The reality is that most claims actually get paid, but the experience at times is what damages trust. Taking claims as the example, there are so many instances where even though insurer has actually paid the claim, the process and the experience the customers had during the claims process has led to disappointment and mistrust, where the customer feels like they have to negotiate and work hard to prove that they're innocent and get what they believe that they deserve, even though most customers are telling the truth. So how do we change our thinking on this? How do we build processes that start on the basis that the customer is telling the truth, but still have those controls to identify fraudulent behaviour? The good thing is that the advancement of technology is really helping us achieve this in building much more efficient processes when it comes to the claims experience. Also, in a digital environment where there is potentially less human interactions, it's really important for us to bring that human interaction, human experience to the process. At iptiQ, we have a team of behavioural science experts that really help us design our products and experiences to provide that empathy for the end customer. In the digital world, AI and data analytics enable insurers to collect, categorise and analyse customer feedback more timely and efficiently. That's great, but it's actually more important to act on that customer feedback to make risk protection solutions more personalised and relevant.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. And in addition to embracing that consumer centricity, I think we also have to take into consideration that when you use data analytics and when you use AI, you must use them in a responsible way where you are making sure that there's no possibility that these incredible technologies and tools are misused, that they are used for the benefit of the consumer and allow the consumer to make better decisions.
Speaking of integrity, I think it is key to achieving the other side of the coin you mentioned at the beginning. While COVID has pushed almost everything online, research shows that people's trust for digital platforms is decreasing due to constant news about data scandals, algorithm biases and cyber attacks. It is a call out for integrity and fairness. Better security technology alone won't solve that issue. At iptiQ, we apply privacy by design in underwriting and only collecting data that is relevant, not to get more information that we don't need for other purposes. Another example is a proprietary digital platform in China, which we launched earlier this year. The company invested relentlessly to make sure the platform, which is what we call the core insurance engine, is designed with the highest standard security measures and that there is a rigorous data governance framework in place to ensure data privacy. All these are driven by the integrity culture we have at heart.
And this is very Swiss. You talk about the China business. I mean, the China business was set up by a group of, high quality engineers based in Shanghai who spend a lot of time making sure that the coding is right, making sure a lot of the security protocols are in place, making sure that people can use our platform with trust in mind. And that's an important part of the proposition we take to our partners. You're working with Swiss Re. You can take that quality, that governance, that oversight, the fact that we follow the regulations in the market, you can take that to the bank. And it's a very, very important part of what we do. And these kind of propositions in the digital world are not new to us. We have a track record. We have experience. Magnum, which is our core underwriting platform, which is a section of, if you like, the full service model. Magnum has been around for a long time, and it's something that many, many Swiss Re insurance clients use for their underwriting protocols alongside the Life Guide underwriting principles that we've been publishing for years. And it all goes toward building this digital trust brand. It's something that Swiss Re as an organization wants to be part of. It's something that we lead. We feel we have a strong voice in this space, and it's very important to us. And I believe that having these rigorous standards to verify digital platforms and the propositions that they make helps the industry build trust, not just with consumers, but with regulators, with partners, and you create that environment which you can then operate in.
We need to build trust end-to-end throughout the digital journey for customers. iptiQ, as a B2B2C digital insurer, partners with trusted brands to offer reliable digital risk protection solutions. We focus on not just building digital trust ourselves, but facilitating it across digital ecosystems.
Digital trust cannot be understood as a standalone proposition. It has to be wrapped up in all of the other things that we stand for. We stand for closing society's protection gap. We stand for making the world more resilient. And those propositions have served us for many, many years. I want digital trust to become, if you like, the next pillar that Swiss Re stands upon. And it doesn't matter whether it's me talking about it or some other executive or some other part of Swiss Re. It is something we believe in and something that is part of our DNA. Ultimately, our goal is to improve accessibility to insurance by building digital trust to close society's protection gap. It's all good news. If you build it, they will come. Digital trust is what we need for insurance to actually achieve its next transition moment.
Really interesting insights. I hope you have enjoyed listening to our podcast. We look forward to talking to you again soon in the next episode of our series, Insurance Pulse. Thank you.